Yo, what's up guys, InzAiN here, welcome back to another video here. Today we're doing another US State Battle Royale simulator video. If you don't know how these go, let me show you how these go. So we got all 51 states, including DC, that's why I said 51 states. On this wheel, we're going to spin it to get one. It's going to be Delaware. We're going to go to this wheel. I'll explain everything as they pop up. If they pop up, if they don't, well, tough luck. Delaware is going to attack. We look at what it borders. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. We put that on a wheel. Here's your message for the video. And then we spin this wheel. They're going to go for New Jersey. We spin this wheel 50-50. Yes is Delaware, no is New Jersey, and Delaware wins. And we go here. We zoom in really close for no reason whatsoever until we can't zoom in anymore, and then we erase the border. It's funny because we got Joe Biden's senator state and we're erasing the border. We give it initials and how much it owns plus itself, and that's how attacks work. Next up is Oklahoma. They will ally. Here's how alliances work. I just spin this wheel again with Arkansas. Well, they are next to each other, so I guess it does make sense. Next up is California. They will attack. They will go for Arizona. Will they get revenge from last video? They won't. There is still a god in this world. Next up is West Virginia, who did they win the last video? No, they came very close to winning, I believe. And then they had the greatest miracle of all time happen against them and they lost. I believe that's what happened. They're going to attack. They will go for Kentucky and will win, getting more of a unique border. Next up is Pennsylvania. We're sticking in the east. They're going to attack. They will go for Maryland and will lose. Maryland goes more north. What is this little piece of land for? Like, why does Maryland have that tiny strip of land above West Virginia? Like, why don't you just give everything from here to the left to West Virginia or something? Why don't you do that? Like, you don't need to look like a gun. I get America loves guns, but come on. We already have Massachusetts and they look like a much better gun. Next up is Connecticut. We're sticking out in the 13 colonies. And they're going to attack. They will go for Rhode Island and will lose. That was a battle of the minis. Weirdly though, these two still have more population than Wyoming. Next up will be Idaho. Last time, the first turn they did was an annexation, but they're going to do an alliance this time with Tennessee. Couldn't tell you what they have in common. They're literally polar opposites of the US. I don't know what they have in common. Nebraska is up now. They will also ally with New Hampshire, probably, with Arizona. Next up is Alabama. They will ally, fucking hell, with West Virginia. Next up is Delaware again. Finally, another one to pop. Oh my lord. With Maryland. They're right next to each other. Next up is Maine. They can only go for New Hampshire if they attack. Oh my god. That is, by the way, hold on. That is a 28% chance. Somebody do the math for me. That popped up 5 times in a row with a 28% chance. Somebody do the math for me. With Indiana, okay. That's great. Next up is South Dakota. I swear, if it lands on Alliance, I'm ending the video. Okay, they're gonna go for North Dakota, and they win. The Dakotas have been united without a unification. It was unation by... Unation? That's definitely not a word. By force. Next up is Delaware again. Third time they pop up, they will attack this time. Well, because their ally is to the west, they can only go for New York. We finally add to this wheel, since it's 2 plus 2 equals 4. Yes, 2 plus 2 equals 4, believe it or not. And New York has nothing, it's still 1. So here we go, and you win. If that wasn't a 80-20, then you would have lost. I could share New York for both of them. Both of them, I can't speak. But Delaware is quite literally trapped in this northeastern part, so why not let them get all the land, because they can't really expand anymore to the west because of a certain somebody is on their border and they're allied, so they can't attack. You got to unify with them. Come on, Delaware, that's what you got to do. Next up is Massachusetts. They're gonna attack. Who did that was an accident. So whoever this lands on, let's see, I'm just going to randomly put them as I say them. Rhode Island, Vermont, New Hampshire, and who was Delaware. Okay, they're going to go for New Hampshire. I did look away from the screen, to be fair. Okay, Massachusetts wins. John Cena adding to that resume of his. Next up is Nebraska again. They're gonna attack. They will go for Missouri and will win. Actually, they should have had a 3-1, but they still won. Carrying their weight now, and they get the weirdest border they could have got out of all of those options. Next up is Oregon. They didn't have a good outing last time, but they're gonna attack. I think they bordered Nevada, right? I don't know. They're gonna go for Arizona. You are a idiot. You lost. Dead lost. 50-50 you would have lost. Hell, fucking, let's see. You could have had a 37-1 chance to win, and you still would have lost. But you didn't, and you are done. You're done for. Goodbye. Arizona taking over pretty much all of the West Coast. They're not going to have much resistance to take over the rest. Next up is Ohio. Will unify. Okay, here's how unifications work. We look at what Ohio borders, which is West Virginia, Indiana, Michigan, and Maryland. We put those on a wheel, and we shuffle it to make it fair. Sometimes I forget to do it. And whoever it lands on, they unify with. You're going to unify with Indiana. Why Indiana? I don't know. Oh, I put Indiana twice. Sorry, there was only supposed to be 5. My bad. Michigan. Okay, they unify with... I'll spin it again for them. They're going to unify with Maryland. I had to be nice to them, because I did fuck it over for them. And, what do we call this? If somebody wants to give me, like, a list of, like, proposed names for unifications for every single state combination, I will not, be upset. I'd actually appreciate that. But that's a lot of time, because you have to do combinations of all 51 things in here. Like Maryland and all of everything Maryland can unify with at any point in time. Like, that's a lot of names, but, you know. So what do I call this? We got Ohio land on the board. Tennessee is up. They will attack. They will attack Nebraska. That is literally the dumbest thing you could have picked. And you lose. And Nebraska continues getting the weirdest and dumbest borders it possibly can. Like, they're literally playing tic-tac-toe, and they've won. They've definitely won. Next up is Utah. The Mormons will attack. They will go for Wyoming. And will win. I mean, to be fair, I don't even know if Wyoming has any chance in a all-out battle. Like, it has 50,000 people there. There's more Mormons than there are people that live in Wyoming. Is purple a Mormon color? Well, it is now. Next up is Minnesota. They will ally with Alaska. No, South Dakota. I mean, I guess that makes sense. You're right on the border. Mississippi is up. They will also ally, okay, with South Dakota as well. With Minnesota, so yeah, okay. So they are allying with South Dakota in a way. Next up is Washington. Almost got nuked, but annexation. Here's how this works. If it says yes, they will annex some land. If it says no, they will not. They will not. Okay, cool. What would have happened if it said yes? I would have looked at everything it bordered, which is Idaho, Arizona, and Alaska, technically, because they're the only one that I allow to go for Alaska. And I would have put them on the other wheel, spun it, whoever popped up, I would have allowed Washington to spin a random number generator 1 to 100. Whatever number popped up would have been the percentage of the land I would have given to them just by eyeballing it. It doesn't add any power unless you 100% of the way annex. Yeah, it just gives you more border opportunities if you pick the right place. That's pretty much the gist of it. But they failed, so it doesn't matter. Nevada's up. They will attack. They will go for Arizona. You are a idiot. No, you won. Okay, cool. If Nebraska would have bordered, Nebraska would have been taken over as well. Nevada took a big gamble, and they won. Michigan's up. They're gonna have a civil war. Here's how this happens. I don't know where the city is specifically, but we're gonna say it's about here. This is rebelling from Michigan, and it's Detroit. So now nobody can attack, nobody can unify, nobody can annex, nobody can do anything except you can ally with them. If you ally, say Illinois allies with Detroit, that means they're taking Detroit's side and helps them in the Civil War effort. Indiana is up. They will attack. They will go for West Virginia. They win. Alabama is left on its own. Next up is Nebraska. They will almost ally, but they will attack. Alright, they border 14 states. If I missed any, too bad. It was too many to count. They're gonna go for Oklahoma, and they lose. Now, I'm gonna allow Arkansas to take over Tennessee, and Oklahoma gets the rest. Now that Green Alliance is pretty strong. Next up is Idaho. They will unify. Okay, the smart option here is Nevada, but they don't do smart, they do Mormonism. Mormon Potats is what they're going to be called. Next up is Mormon Potats. Oh my, they got nuked. They got nuked. Somebody was fed up with those Mormons. I don't know what they did, but they did something. They got fed up with the Mormons, and the Mormons have been nuked off the face of the planet. Yeah, nuke just means you're out of the game, by the way. Alabama's up. Independence now. I messed this up in the Europe video because I didn't do it how it's supposed to be. Again, this idea is kind of inspired by that guy right there. So if it says yes, somebody's gaining independence from Alabama. If it says no, nobody's gaining independence. It says no. Well, that's boring. It's my video. Somebody's gaining independence from Alabama. This is the only time I'm giving a free pass in this video. All right, here's who is gaining independence because I wanted the first independence of the video. They're going to be right here. This is Alabama, but this is Birmingham. Yeah, the next time independence shows up and it says no for this video, it's a no. I just so badly wanted it. Did I spell that right? It doesn't matter. Oklahoma's up. They're going to ally with Minnesota. I don't know why I say that with an accent. Oh, and they're betraying their Green Alliance to join a different Green Alliance, by the way, because they're joining into them. Meaning they take their color, which is this color, which means they backstab these. Also, on a technicality, Birmingham should be fully independent, not even allied with Alabama, so they don't have pink. My bad. Next up is Alabama again. They're gonna attack. Are they taking back Birmingham? Are they upset? Oh my god, they're upset. They lost. Birmingham takes over all of Alabama. They just wanted their independence. That's all they wanted. They didn't want anything more, just their independence. And Alabama got upset. And look what happened now. Birmingham, it took over all of Alabama. How the turntables. Rhode Island's up. They will ally with Birmingham. No, with Delaware. Okay, I guess, because you're on their border. Sure. South Dakota is up. They're gonna attack. They're gonna go for Iowa. And they win. Now, South Dakota is so generous, they're gonna let Minnesota take this over on their own. Next up is South Dakota. Wait, I didn't get rid of Iowa. Okay, it's South Carolina, my bad. They're gonna attack. They're gonna go for Georgia and win. Goodbye, Eagle. Was South Carolina's border drawn that way on purpose, by the way? Like, were they drawn on purpose to be an eagle shape? If not, what a crazy coincidence. Nevada is up. They will attack Hawaii, and they lose. What an upset. Hawaii is dominating on that west coast. Next up, I'm going to say, is going to be a direction state. Birmingham, not even close. They're going to ally with Rhode Island. This yellow alliance finally leaves the 13 colonies area. Next up is Hawaii. They will also ally with Ohio land. No, with Hawaii. You can't do that. Sadly, Colorado. They're doing it with Colorado. Next up is Mississippi, who will attack. They will go for Louisiana, and they win. Look at Arkansas being surrounded by their former friends' new friends. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know how mean that is of Oklahoma? They backstabbed their friend, and now look at what their new friends are doing. Surrounding them. Next up is Hawaii, who will attack. They will go for Washington and will win. They have almost the entire West Coast. They have the West Coast of mainland US, but until they get Alaska, they don't have everything on the west with a coast. Do you know what I mean? Birmingham's up. They will ally with Kansas. No, it's Maine. Oh, that means they backstab their ally to go to a place bordering their ally. Okay. No, not bordering, but close enough. Next up is Alaska. If it says attack, they're going for Hawaii, but they're going to ally with Hawaii. No, South Carolina. They didn't want to be light gray. They wanted to be dark gray. Got it. Hawaii is up. Do they take offense to that? They might. They will. lose. They lose. They definitely lose. Very powerful dark gray alliance. Colorado? I'd run if I was you. Relocate to like Europe or something. Maine is up. They will try to get past New Hampshire, which was taken over by Massachusetts. Yes, and they win. What a retirement tour. 1 win and a loss. But now Maine is finally carrying their weight. Next up is Texas. Finally getting into the game. They will attack. They will go for Mississippi. That is not what you wanted. You lose. I could share this with Oklahoma, but Mississippi gets all of it, because that's how nice of a person Oklahoma is to their new friends, that they totally won't backstab, just like they backstabbed Arkansas. Hey, whatever this wheel tells you to do, you gotta do. Oh, look at that. It tells you to subscribe. Guess you gotta do it. Next up is Rhode Island. They will attack. They can only go for Maryland. Or sorry, they can only go for Maine because they're stuck. And they lose. Not only does Rhode Island lose, but Maryland and Delaware lose as well. Because Delaware borders Maine, Maryland, Ohio land borders Indiana. So yeah, all of that falls. That light blue alliance is really strong now, and then there's just Birmingham. By the way, if Ohio actually allied with Indiana, it would have been still around, technically. But because of my error, they're gone now. Vermont's up. They're surrounded. They're surrounded by Maine. Don't pick, attack. You're an idiot. All right. Vermont loses. All right. Maine is completely trapped up here now. Unless they unify, they're not getting much. Next up is Oklahoma. They will attack. They will go for Colorado. They win. Light gray is gone, and Oklahoma completes their ring around Kansas that Nebraska started for them. Illinois is up. They won the last video off a miracle. And they will attack. That's not the option you want. They will go for Wisconsin. Oh, they lucked out, but they're probably still going to lose this. They don't. Okay. They take out Wisconsin. The literal only good option, because if they chose either Minnesota or Oklahoma, they would have fought the entire alliance. If they picked Indiana, they would have fought an entire alliance. Like, they had to pick Wisconsin. They don't stand a chance in hell, though. They're surrounded by some pretty strong people. Oh, they're back up. What do they do this time? They're gonna ally with them. You can't do that. New Mexico. Why New Mexico? Why? Well, why would you do that? Okay. Oklahoma's up. They will try to annex. Is it successful? It is. So who are you going to annex? Who are you going to try to annex some of? New Mexico. How much of New Mexico? 31%. All right, and you get a new border from this. You don't completely get rid of them. Next up is Indiana. They will ally with New Mexico. Oh, and so they backstab their massive good alliance? What are you doing? You stupid idiot. North Carolina is finally getting in the game. They will also ally with New Mexico. No, they're going to ally with Oklahoma. All right, so they're picking a side in this war of red and green. Next up is North Carolina. Again, what will they do this time? Unify with the other Carolina? You do! And, do you take their color? How did I do this before? Do you take the color of the one? Because you are going into them. So yeah, you take gray. Here's what this is going to be called. Literally just Carolina. Next up is Detroit. That's finally being settled. No one picked a side, and Detroit wins. So Detroit gains independence from a rebellion. See, whereas independence is just basically a civil war minus the blood. A civil war is just independence plus blood. Indiana is up. They will attack. They will go for Virginia. Why are you picking on them? You win. Okay. And what did that prove? Sorry, I just love the virgins, you know. Alaska is up. They will have a civil war. Because Satan always has to try. California is back. And it's already being quelled. I did it the wrong way around. California loses. The devil never wins. Mississippi is up now. They're going to ally with Illinois. Mississippi backstabs to join. Okay. All right, this is getting interesting now. Indiana's up. They're going to attack. They're going to go for Arkansas. Or Arkansas, man. Okay, they win. I am going to let Mississippi, get Arkansas. Red's looking really strong compared to lime green. Montana is up. I don't think they've done anything all game. They're going to try to annex. It's not successful, so they're gone. They're skipping. New Mexico's up. They're going to try to get their land back, probably. They're going to go for Alaska, never mind. And New Mexico loses. Thankfully, Red didn't border Alaska besides New Mexico. That was the only one. So they're the only one that goes away, which honestly sad showing for them. They get 31% of them annexed, and then the other 69 nice percent is now Alaskan. Next up is Mississippi. Will they avenge? They're gonna unify. Because they border their alliance member, they're forced to unify with their alliance member. If they didn't border an alliance member, they would have just unified with somebody else. Their unification name is literally gonna be Mississippi Cup. That's a good unification name if you ask me. Maine is up. They will ally with Illinois. So they rejoin Indiana by betraying Birmingham. They missed Indiana, I guess. DC is up, surrounded by Mississippi Cup, and they're gonna attack them, and DC loses. Imagine my shock. Oklahoma is up now. They will attack. They will finally put Kansas out of their misery, and they win. I would have laughed if they lost. Detroit's up. I am recording all of this, right? Oh, that would have been tragic. An hour of recording loss. What even sound just came out of my mouth? Detroit will have a civil war. Now, I know the funny thing is to try to bring back Michigan, but we're not going to do that, and I'm just going to make up a location for this because I don't know where it is. Lansing, which I think is the capital. I don't know where it is, but that's where it's going to be. Yeah, anyway, you don't come here for realism, though. Carolina is up. They will attack. They will go for Florida. That's the smart one, yeah. And you win. They have now acquired another hurricane victim. Maine is up. They will unify. They only border Mississippi Cup. Alright, here's what we're gonna call this. Mississippi Cup, Maine. You know, like, man. Minnesota's up. They will also unify. Okay, because they bordered 2 of their alliance members, I'm not gonna force a 3-way unification. So they gotta pick. Do you want South Dakota, or do you want the better option of Oklahoma? I'm gonna shuffle it to be fair. They want South Dakota. Not even your own alliance members like you. They know you have a history of backstab and disloyalty. Disloyalty? Is that a word? And their unification name is Cold as Rushmore. Detroit quelling that rebellion, and they lose. The rebeller gets taken down by a rebeller. Poetic. Disney should make a movie on that. It is funny how we have seen 2 civil wars in Michigan alone. Carolina's up. They almost unify, but they're gonna ally with Illinois. Alright, so they just backstabbed Alaska to join in with Red. They probably would have done that to begin with, because if they would have unified, it was a 50-50 of Red or Birmingham. Birmingham, speaking of, is up, and they will unify with Mississippi Cup, Maine. I have no clue what to call this unification. Mississippi and Ham Cup. Is that even how you do a hand sign? And sign, sorry. No, it's like that. Close enough. Oklahoma is up. They will ally with Carolina. See, remember what I said? Remember what I said? Not even your own alliance members like you, because you have a history of being disloyal. Next up is Cold as Rushmore. They just got betrayed, and they will ally probably with the guy they betrayed them with Montana. Montana's still in the game? Oh my god, Montana is still in the game. Didn't they try an annexation and fail? I think that's the only thing Montana did. They tried an annexation and failed. Cold as Rushmore is back up. They will ally again to Illinois. Okay, so hold on, you just brought Montana in to betray them anyway? Oklahoma's up now. They will attack. They only border Alaska, and they win. Yeah, when it comes down to the battle of the death, it's gonna be Mississippi and Ham Cup, Maine, or it's gonna be Oklahoma. New Mexico's territory is finally reunited as well. Yeah, Lansing and Montana have no chance in hell. Carolina's up. They're gonna attack. You don't border anything, do you? You don't. Okay, so your turn is skipped. InzAiN Ham Cup Maine is going to try to annex. Do you even border anything to annex? You do. Okay, cool. And they don't annex, so their turn is gone. They get another chance. They're going to ally with one of the two last ones left, Lansing. Watch this. Guild, professional. Cold as ice. Cold as Rushmore. Oklahoma is up. They will attack. You don't border anything, so your turn is skipped. Oklahoma is back up. Your turn is skipped. Lansing is up. They're gonna ally, so they bring in Montana, because that's the last thing left. Now, it's a battle to the death. State count together doesn't matter. It's state count alone. If you unify, you share the victory. If you don't, you battle. The alliances are gone. Next up is Montana. They will attack. They can only go for cold as Rushmore, and they lose. These, you know, they might get a miracle. By the way, this was all started from Illinois and New Mexico. It was looking like it would be light green for the longest time. Now it's red. Illinois is up. The one that started it, they're going to unify. They have a chance to win this for themselves. If they do the 4-letter one, they win, basically. You idiot. Why would you do that? I mean, you still have a good chance at least. You know, it's not the worst chance. But it could have been so much better. What are you doing? You won the last video, I get it, but come on. They're called Illoma. Carolina's up. They will attack. They only border InzAiN Ham Cup, Maine. And they lose. Yeah, so their victory is inevitable. Like Thanos. Down to 4. I spun this wheel over 110 times. Illoma is up. Ah, you're an idiot. You're gonna attack. You have a chance, though. Cold as Rushmore are InzAiN Ham Cup, Maine. Okay, they have a chance. They lose. Okay. That is actually embarrassing for you to lose because you had 3 times their strength. Oh, they could have went for Lansing. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna shuffle this 3 times. That was 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks. Oh, they went for InzAiN Cup and Ham, Maine. Okay, no, you have too much. I'm gonna allow them to go for Car still, and they still lost. Because you have way too much. Come on. Cold as Rushmore got revenge on Oklahoma in the end. It'd be funny if like a nuke drops on InzAiN Ham Cup, Maine. Cold as Rushmore is up. They will attack Lansing or the other one. They're gonna go for Lansing. If you lose this, you're a laughing stock. Okay. They have a chance now. They have a chance. It's down to these two, 21 to 27. Who will be doing the move into Battle of Unifications as well? Cold as Rushmore is up. What will they do? They're gonna attack. It's down to this. 21 versus 27. They have a 44% chance of winning. They brought it back at the end. And you know what? I'm gonna up the spin speed to 5 seconds. Let's see. Who is the winner of US State Battle Royale? It is gonna be InzAiN Ham Cup, Maine. That's probably the dumbest name I've ever came up with. Ladies and gentlemen, InzAiN Ham Cup, Maine is the winner. I'll see you guys in the next ones, and peace out. See you guys.